Wub's leaving? What's going on?
The attendant's here that has the parking spot.
See, this is why tandem parking is the 8th deadly sin.
It's not
as
tandem.
well known.
You're fine. It's just the other spot that I gave away. Because the tandem spot was taken by...
See, this is why I parked on the street. But like I said,
I tried.
tandem parking...
There's nothing out there.
That's very hard to find.
I saw when we were just sitting there waiting on the no big deal. I did a little parallel parking today. If anybody needs to get wet, I could film myself.
Should we wrap
leaving.
this up or what?
No, dude,
Yeah,
let's talk
I
about
guess
black wrestlers from the 80s.
Black wrestlers' lives matter.
Not in the WWE.
I liked Sergeant Slaughter. He was pretty cool when he joined G.I. Joe.
He had death threats again. He came to the Comedy Store one night.
Really? He had death threats.
With Piper, because if you remember, they did that bit where he joined forces with the Iron Sheik, so he became like an Iraqi sympathizer. Dude, I'm like, how serious did people take that? And he's like, dude, like, because there was no internet back then, so you really thought he like was an actual sergeant in the army, and he joined like the sergeant's or Iron Sheik's crew, and like he said, I had to wear a bulletproof vest everywhere I went. So,
dude, what an interesting world we live in. And old Hulk Hogan, he also played the heel sometimes too.
well, that's the greatest heel turn ever. Like, I mean, I call it wrestling 9/11. Like, you know, when he joined, when he turned his back on Sting and Lex Luger, because it was a really, you talk about good writing. They played it up where Hall and Nash came over from the WWF because they weren't under contract anymore. And they did it, they staggered their entrances. So Hall came in the first week and he interrupted a match. And he's like, hey, I'm here from the WWF. I'm going to bring a partner next week. And then everyone was like, who's the partner? And then Nash came. And then they're like, we got one more. And then they drug it out till the pay-per-view. And then it was such good writing. They should show this to anyone who wants to write a script in terms of how you... So in the match, it was Hall and Nash and no third partner for most of the match. And then you had Sting, Luger, and Macho Man. Luger blows out his knee. So he's gone. So now it's a 2-on-2. And the announcers are really playing it up. Oh, my God, where's Hall and Nash's third partner? Who could it be? Who could it be? And then they beat up Sting, throw him out of the ring. And then they're beating the shit out of Macho Man. Like they're doing that classic bad guy beat down. And then Hulk Hogan comes out wearing the yellow and red. And the announcers, and this is where the writers were like, say this then. The announcers are like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan's here to save Macho Man finally. And Hall and Nash clear out of the ring. So it's just Macho Man in the ring. Hulk Hogan standing over him. Everyone in the ring, everyone watching on TV thinks he's going to help him up. And then he gives him the leg drop.
Yes.
And then Hall and Nash get in the ring and they hold hands. And it's like, dude, but it was so well written. But now they don't do it like that. Now it's just like, you know. I mean, the internet ruined wrestling just because you could look up, like, oh, Kamala's not from Uganda. He's from Mississippi. So, you know. I know this, like, I hope I didn't cost you listeners talking about wrestling.
I don't know if we have listeners anymore. It's really weird. I thought more people would be listening to this stuff since they're just sitting at home all day. But
I mean, you
I don't know what they're doing.
It's weird. Like at the beginning of the pandemic, I bought a bunch of stencils and podcast posters, and and they're still up in Fairfax. If you go down like Cantor's and the other side of the street, I have tons of inappropriate Earl stencils on the ground, a couple posters.
Oh, smart, dude.
Didn't really help, to be honest.
But it's still fun.
Didn't hurt.
Dude, some of those stencils are that stay on the fucking sidewalk for 10 years. Like promoting some Snoop Dogg album that came out 10 years ago. I don't even remember hearing.
Well, that was the funniest thing about the riots was like you see the helicopter like at that corner. I don't know what the side street is, but it's Fairfax. It's where the Cantor's parking lot is. I put like 4 of them, and you could see them all. Like inappropriate Earl fucking stencils. So, you know.
All right, well, maybe we should wrap it up.
Why would you say that?
Half the people left.
Yeah, I mean,
You guys can keep talking. I have to.
I mean, I probably should go. This podcast is losing hosts.
Yeah.
We might have more people doing the podcast than listening to it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, you guys are. I love this podcast though. Like you guys are.
It's the only one I listen to.
Well, but you guys are like, you put it out every week. It's quality guests, good pictures, you know, like.
Wub has to find a new parking spot, so.
He's out on the street then.
He's on the street trying to find parking, yeah.
Good luck. Is it
I know,
permanent
right?
parking here? Like on the street?
No permit parking,
okay.
but
But
it's almost worse because it's so hard to find, you know.
Yeah.
But
Definitely, if I was fucking someone in this neighborhood, it would not last longer than like a month.
Uber.
Uber, there you go.
oh wait, actually, I think I might have another spot for him. Motherfuck. Keep on trolling. Thank you, Earl,
Yeah,
for coming
thank you.
on. You guys
Thanks,
can
Earl.
keep talking if you want.
Larkin's the real deal. Me and him are foot soldiers.
We're the only funny ones on the podcast, so now let's just focus on what matters.
Let's turn this in. All right, let's expose more rapists in the LA comedy community.
They're all rapists, though.
You better change. Not all. I've never been. I've dated younger girls. You can date a girl who looks like she's 16. They just can't be 16. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, about 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't think that Chris D'Elia actually fucked any of these underage chicks.
I think he's in the clear the most because, you know, we can argue whether it's the best to be messaging young girls online, but in the legal sense, there's nothing illegal about it. I think, and it's not even really talking about D'Elia. Like, if you're asking an underage girl for a nude photo and she sends it to you, that's child porn. Mm-hmm. So that's where the rubber meets the road on that. And I don't believe, I mean, I don't follow his case that much, but I don't believe anyone ever sent him pictures.
No, I don't believe so. And I don't think that he met up with them once he found out they were not 18.
I mean, from the screenshots I saw, and, you know, I'm not like Harvey Levin following this stuff, but as soon as he realized they were under 18, he would say, okay, see ya. Because that happened to me once. I was playing.
Say that stuff happens all the time on Twitter. Weirdos just hit you up.
I mean, I was playing hockey, and I was 35 at the time, and my buddy was probably 45. He had this daughter who was 15, and, you know, at 15, I think girls are like, they get like a puppy crush on an older dude, and she like loved me, like, and she had the most gigantic tits you've ever seen in your life, and she was skinny, like, I mean, I don't know what the letter is after G in the bra world, but she had that letter on her bra, like they were like what is it, A B C D F G A, they had to have been H size. I mean, they just, there's no way she could cover them up ever, and so she sent me once a bikini picture, or it might have been a bra picture. And I immediately was like, okay, how do I get out of this? That was my first thought, was not, as much as I love pussy. And I think I jokingly said, hey, send me these in 10 years.
Yeah. That's so funny.
But you have to be careful because like their brains just aren't developed yet to deal with rejection. They might be very smart, book smart, and other, you know, areas of the brain, but like for rejection from a guy, like you got to find a way to like get out of it, you know, without burning their bridge.
And they don't understand that we're doing it out of our own self-protection. It's not about hurting their feelings or not being attracted to them. It's just not appropriate.
Oh, it's just illegal. Like,
yeah.
But it's crazy though. Like I had conversations, and you know, without getting into, you know, the particulars of the names of sex with a 16-year-old, and like I would get at. That's illegal. It's just like, it's end of story. There's no like justifying it. Like, even though it was consensual, it's like, no, you can't. You literally legally can't consent with a 16-year-old. It's just not. And they were like, well, how old was the dude? I don't know, early 20s. I said, oh, well, that's close enough. And I'm like, dude, I hope you have daughters one day. And I hope a 20-year-old fucks your 16-year-old daughter. Let's see how your take is then. So it was just, the justification sometimes is like mind-blowing to me. Of like, well, it's legal in Holland. Like, well, we're not in Holland.
Yeah. They have different culture there.
We're in L.A. So, I mean...
But I also don't understand, why isn't 18 young enough for you? 18's still pretty young, you know.
Well, I mean...
Why is that not young enough for these dudes?
Well, I think with successful comics, like how after they left, we're all serious and shit.
Yeah, it's okay, though.
It's like Crossfire right now. We go from Rambo to like... I think the more successful you are, whether you're in Kiss or you're in Rat or... you know, you're a famous comic, famous actor, you want what you can't have. I mean, literally, if you're a famous comic or a musician or an actor, there's no rules, except you can't fuck anyone under 18. So I think that, you know, it's
that's
like
the one taboo that they have left.
Yeah. You know, it's like if someone tells me not to do something, I almost instantly want to do it. Don't touch that fire, Earl. My mom would tell me as a kid because we had a fireplace. And I can't tell you how many times I like would literally put my hand just outside the fire to go, fuck, I want to touch it. Yeah. Because she told me not to.
It's human nature.
I really think it is. So, and you know, I mean, 15 and 16 and 17-year-old girls today look a lot different than when I was a kid.
Yeah, right? It's pretty terrifying, actually. They look like little adults.
I mean, with makeup now and just... I don't know, the clothing, like I've seen 16-year-olds who look 25. But you know what? It's still illegal. Like, I love my freedom.
Yeah.
I would not do well in prison.
Yeah, I feel like I would excel in prison.
I mean, I can't imagine being in prison for 2 hours, let alone, I mean, statutory rape. I don't know what the penalty is for it, but...
I'll tell you what, in prison, it's an ass kicking.
Well, yeah, well, that's the funny.
They hate chomos in prison.
But I think prisoners really hate it if it's like an 8-year-old kid, 7-year-old kid, like that age. But I think with 16 or 17-year-olds, you get a little less of a beat down just because it's like, well, dude, she had big tits, I get it. Like, but you know, with little kids, but you know, it's just like, dude, there's plenty of 18-year-olds out there. There's you know.
See, I also think about this, like. You know, none of these comedians got pussy growing up. They didn't get any pussy in high school. If they went to college, they didn't get pussy there either. You know, I think about that a lot. Like, for them, hanging out at the Comedy Store, that's their first socialization.
It's a dating app at the Comedy Store. Like, I can't tell you whether I've been single or have a girlfriend or whatever. Like, if you do well on stage, especially there, because I think even the audience knows, okay, anyone I'm seeing on this stage has got to be pretty funny. It's not always the case. It's an aphrodisiac. I've had some girls, you know, pretty hot girls come up to me that probably wouldn't have on the street.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
At the gym or like, I don't know, at Sprouts. But like, oh, this guy just did well for 15 minutes. He's He's not the worst looking guy in the world.
Yeah, all of a sudden you look like a stud.
Yeah, but you're a good looking guy. Yeah. I'm sure you do good with chicks.
Never, but
but if you are on stage at the store or whatever,
100%. Yeah,
you might get a girl. See, I don't think any girls out of my league, but you might, and they probably are. But like, you could get a Giselle Bundchen if you were killing and she was single. Oh,
100%. Yeah. It's an extremely powerful thing to make all those people laugh.
Yeah, it's like...
You know, if you're a girl, that's a turn on too, because it's like, well, this is a guy who will keep me entertained when I'm dating him later.
When he comes early, at least he'll tell a few bits. I mean, what's the ladies, man? I've seen you with hot chicks.
Really?
No, I'm just trying to go along with the fucking story. They don't know I'm not... I've never seen you outside of a comedy club, you creepy.
Never seen you with a chick.
But I know you do well with women. I've never seen you.
I am fine. I do fine with
right, but like if you weren't a funny comic and you were, I don't know, an accountant or whatever, you might not do as well because like you can't really entertain someone.
I'd have to be a funny accountant.
Right.
Had to be the Rock's accountant or something like that.
Have you ever had like a regular job where the only reason that you were being kept on is because you were funny?
Oh, yeah, at the gym.
The only reason, that's how I consider dating. Like, it is a job, and I am being kept on because I'm funny and entertaining.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely no chick. Dude, never has any chick ever fucked me because of the way I look. Not
But you're a good-looking
once.
dude.
I mean, thank you. I'm
not gay or anything.
Look at Doggy Eleanor. She loves you.
I mean, you're not my type.